Hey everybody, welcome back this week. Hope you had a fun week and were able to play outside and enjoy the beautiful weather that we've been having. We've had some really sunny days and we've also had some pretty windy days too. In fact, we were able to get some kites up in the air this week, and that was really fun. We hadn't done that for a long time. When it's really windy outside, what Mr. Fricks likes to do is get out his parachute. And some of you have firsthand experience with his parachute. He has a real Army parachute, and it's really fun to play with when it's windy outside. So let's go take a look at that.
Hi there, kids. Well, it is wonderful outside. It's a bit cool, which is why I have my jacket on, but more importantly than the temperature is the wind. We've got a great wind out here, and I don't have a kite to fly, but we do have the parachute. So we thought it'd be fun to bring the parachute out into the wind and see what happens. So Graham, you grab that engine. Don't go yet. We just need to wait until a decent gust blows by. Graham's gonna run that way. I'll run up behind him. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's go. Okay, kids, maybe you can go find a kite or something else. You go outside and play in the wind. A kite would be perfect. Just don't get it caught in an electrical wire. Other than that, it's a beautiful day out. Go have some fun. See you later. Bye.
So to enjoy the parachute like that, you really need a lot of wind. And we've had some windy days this week. There's a verse about wind that I wanted to share with you. And it's in John chapter 3, verse 8. And it says this: "The wind blows where it wishes. You hear its sound, but you do not know where it is coming from, or where it goes. So it is with everyone who is born of the Spirit." So the context of this verse is when Nicodemus, who was a Jewish leader, came at night, and he came to Jesus to ask him a question. And he asked, "How can I be born again? And what does that mean?" And so as Jesus is explaining to him, he says, it's not really a physical rebirth. You're not being born again physically. You were already born once physically, and that's good. But you're being renewed spiritually. It's a spiritual rebirth. And he uses the example of the wind to kind of help explain what the Holy Spirit is like. And so he says the Holy Spirit is kind of like the wind. You can't really see the wind itself. You can see the effects of the wind. You can see the trees blowing and your hair blowing around, and you can see kites up in the air, and you can see a parachute filling up with air. And those are all the effects of the wind, but the wind itself you don't actually see. And it kind of swirls around and changes direction, is unpredictable. And that's how the Holy Spirit is. So the Holy Spirit will come and change someone's life, and you can't see the Spirit, but what you can see are the effects that the Holy Spirit has in someone's life. We can't predict who is going to become a Christian. We don't know that for sure. Only God knows that. And that's a work of the Holy Spirit in their lives. And so it kind of comes and goes around, and we can't see it. We can't see the Holy Spirit come into someone's life. You can't see someone being saved. But we can see the effects of what it looks like to be saved, what it looks like to have the Holy Spirit in your life. And in Galatians, it tells us, it gives us some examples. These are the fruit of the Spirit. If you have the Spirit in your life, this is what your life is going to look like. This is the fruit that you will bear in your life. You have love and joy and peace and patience and kindness and gentleness and faithfulness and self-control. Those are all fruits that your life will bear when you have the Spirit in you. And so even though we can't see the Spirit, we can see the effects of the Spirit in our lives and in other people's lives. And sometimes there's a dramatic change in someone's life when they become saved. And sometimes, we're all in the process of slowly becoming more and more like Christ. And so, but you see change happen, and you see these things, and those are the effects of the Holy Spirit. And when the Holy Spirit is in us, and we mentioned last week too, He's our teacher and our counselor, and He helps us understand right from wrong, to know right from wrong, to understand what we've read in the scriptures. And so, that's those are some of the things that the Holy Spirit does for us. So, moms, happy Mother's Day. And we Faith, appreciate you so much, and the hard work that you do in raising up this next generation of believers, and all of the time you put in the teaching at home, and the leading by example, and showing the fruit of the Spirit to your own kids at home. And we at Faith are just really here to support you in that as you raise your kids. So happy Mother's Day. Keep up the good work. And kids, just make sure you give your moms a big hug today. Tell them how much you appreciate them and love them. And we'll see you guys next week.